Hello. Two, three quick announcements. Kindly switch off your phone or on airplane mode only. Once again, we would like to announce. Also, whenever you have a point or a question, please raise your hand. Do a conscious pause and then say the point or the question which you have. Let the mic come to you. Please wait till the mic comes, switch it on, and then say your point. So everyone who is listening online can also hear it. And also say once again, phones only on switch off or airplane mode. Also, the cordless mics here, these mics, please switch them off after you say a point. If you want to say a point again, switch it on again and then say a point. But don't keep it switched on the whole time, as there is a small feedback or a bigger feedback always going in the online live streaming also. So always keep it off because everything there is connected. Thank you.
सेज पंखो मारी बस થોડુંક આમ કરજો, થોડું. હા, બહુ વધારે કરજો. બસ. Okay. Shall we start? Yeah.
We'll just repeat the last line. Can you just scroll up a little bit? Oh Sanjay, I had no hope of victory when I heard that the old warrior Bhishma, after killing the Somak warriors until only a few remained, was dead of by an arrow with a multicolored feathered tip.
Yeah. So one of the meanings of Shakuni, I mean, huh? Who was on Arjun's chariot? Shikhandi. One of the meanings of Shikhandi is to peacock. So it is peacock, right?
Hello.
Okay. One question I had, साहब, yesterday, जो multicolored feathered tip है, feather, you're referring to the peacock thing. So then two questions. One is the peacock with Shikhandin. What is the exact connection? And two, the second question. The peacock का जो feather है, is what Krishna is associated with Krishna.
Yeah, but in this case it signifies something else.
So can we look at both? Why is that also associated with Krishna, and what is the significance here?
It should not be a question why it is associated with Krishna.
Okay.
See, everything has a material cause and a instrumental cause. So the material cause for Bhishma's falling on the bed of arrows was Arjuna. But the instrumental cause was Shikhandi. Shikhandi. Right? It became possible because of Shikhandi. Otherwise, Arjun's arrows would not have penetrated Bhishma's armor. So it became possible because of Shikhandi, and so he sees this feather that he was the instrumental cause. The instrumental cause. Right. In Krishna's, this thing, the peacock feather means something totally different. Peacock represents all the colors of life, all the deep, what you call, sensitivities of life, and those sensitivities which give you joy. So Krishna experiences all of them together, all the colors of life together, all the, right? So that is why there's a peacock in his. Mr. Tavaria was very against keeping a peacock feather in your home, right? Because he says it will bring daridrata, it will bring poorness, right? So we have to remember that also. So if you have a temple with a statue of Krishna inside, you can have a feather in his thing. But not to keep a peacock feather in your home otherwise. Answer the question.
But this brings up another question. Why would it bring poverty in the house?
That you have to ask Mr.
Ask
Tawai.
him?
Ask him. Yeah, he just said things and he never gave reasons behind why he was saying them. Some of the reasons I fathomed out and some are... So...
Okay, sir. Let's carry on.
O Sanjay, I had no hope of victory when I heard that Shantanu's son Bhishma was lying there and was thirsty, and Arjun pierced the ground to slake his thirst.
So his thirst was for knowledge. Even in so much of pain, his thirst was for knowledge. And the knowledge of passing from what you call Prakruti to Purush, the knowledge of passing from awareness to consciousness, the movement from the eyes of awareness to the presence of consciousness. And he wanted that knowledge, and the knowledge is symbolized by Ganga, right? Gyan. Knowledge is symbolized by that Ganga. And so he asked Arjun to give him water from the Ganga. So Arjun must have known there must have been what do you call underwater, what do you call tributary where he pierced it, and he got water of the Ganga. And you see, he then remains on the bed of arrows for I think 40 days. I'm not sure now. And in those 40 days, that knowledge expresses itself. And you see, otherwise a person would have left the body immediately. But he held on till Uttarayan. And in the 40 days, he saw the end of the war. Yudhishthir would now be the king. And then he gives a long, what do you call, treatise, where Yudhishthir comes every day to learn from him. And on what are the qualities of a king, right? And that is like the Bhishma Gita, where he gives knowledge to Yudhishthir. And in one of those question answer sessions with or between Bhishma and Yudhishthir, Yudhishthir says that I'm still in a state of shock. I'm still in a state of pain that I've killed all my brothers, right? And I can't get over it. And then he recites. He says, when I was in pain, my mother had told me to recite this, and for the first time he brings out what is called the Vishnu Sahasranam, the thousand names of Vishnu. And so when I recited this, the pain subsided, right? And I was free of the pain. So that is a what you call a big boon to humanity, that he was able to give the Vishnu Sahasranam. right, which is a profound scripture. And then in the end, he made this journey from Prakriti to Purush, and that was helped. He was helped by Krishna. So that water of the Ganga, it signified the knowledge of the next 40 days, the knowledge of the next 40 days, and he imparted that knowledge to Yudhishthira.
O Sanjay, I had no hope of victory when I heard that Shukra and Surya united to bring victory to the sons of Kunti, and fierce beasts of prey were always around us.
So I haven't found the link to Shukra. Because Shukra Repha Shukracharya ke છે.
Gujarati translation ma Vayu and Indra. He mentioned this thing, not Shukracharya.
Acha.
Vayu, Indra and Surya. Then it is properly fit into the frame of our interpretation.
In the Gujarati translation.
Yes, in Gujarati translation it is there.
Vayu,
Indra and
Indra,
Surya.
and
Surya.
Surya. Right?
So in English they said Shukra, but
There is no.
here
I was wondering where
yes,
Shukra came in. Right. So Shukra, what do you call? I mean, why Indra took away the Kavach and Kundal from what do you call Karna. So Karna became what do you call vulnerable, right? So he took away his protective armor from Karna. That is Indra, right? Then Vayu. What would be this thing?
it is there in the it is there in the form of Hanumanji.
Hanuman on his this thing,
chariot
that,
of
right.
Arjun.
So Hanuman on the what do you call flag of Arjun, sitting on the flag of Arjun, represented Vayu, and Surya. So Surya was with the Pandavas throughout the what do you call Vanvas, the 12 years. And he gave Yudhishthir what is called the Akshay Patra. And it is said that Yudhishthir in his Vanvas would not eat food unless he could first do darshan of Surya. And for 6 or 7 days Surya did not appear because of the clouds. And so for 6 or 7 days he did not touch food. And then Surya was so happy, he gave him the Akshay Patra, and he says that the food won't, what do you call, stop coming out till the last person. All 6 of you have eaten the food, or all who are with you have eaten the food. And so that remained with them throughout their Agnatwas, and they were never short of, what do you call, food. It's very significant in the sense that when we talk of the energy of essence of consciousness, from which essence is built, and essence being the bridge to the divine fragment. So, then the higher energy of essence of consciousness always comes from impression food, right? From the impression, and that is represented by Surya. It is Surya which gives us the impression food, right? So, there's that, right? Was there anything else? Where is this one? Where? Fierce beasts of prey were surrounding us. I don't know how many of you have studied Shakespeare, but Shakespeare has done a lot of work in his plays on omens, where the omens come from the animal world, and the omens forecast the future. It is the animals are shedding shadows on the darkness which is to come. And especially there are 2 kinds of beasts, one which eat vegetarian food, and one which eats other beasts. These are called beasts of prey, right? And so these beasts of prey, they, when they give out certain sounds, certain, what do you call, omens in them, they foretell about the future. Uh, I can recount a couple of incidents with Ramdulare Bapu. So one is the howling of a dog. And I've not seen it all the time when a person dies, but in one instance when I was with him, I've seen like more than 10 to 15 dogs howling together in a group as the person was leaving his body. So these animals have a kind of, what do you call, they foretell the future. They foretell the future. Yeah.
So there is also a reference to this in when Kunti was pregnant, when Gandhari was pregnant, and there was jackals crowing and all of that happening also.
Jackals were howling at that time, right?
The omen is mentioned even.
There were omens when Duryodhan was born. There were omens. So these are omens, and we must learn to read those omens. It's very difficult. It's like a lost science. Something I can say over here is that every student of spirituality, he must take out 5 to 10 minutes every day and work on the energy of sensitivity. It is like a what do you call, practice of the energy of sensitivity. Practice of the energy of sensitivity. And Mr. Tavaria takes, it is the 7th energy in his list of energies, but he also says it is the highest energy in the sense that it goes right up to the divine. There is sensitivity of the divine. So every day we, as our homework, we should take out 5 to 10 minutes where we just sit in nature or something, close our eyes and try to sense the, what you call, movement of water, or sense the wind making music in the leaves, and just be with that sensitivity and see what happens. I have come across that something that when you're with the Guru, he creates situations, and those situations transcend time and space. And many times for the disciple, he sees the significance of those situations many, many years later, sometimes even 30, 35, 40 years later. Now, one day, Ramdulare Bapu told me that we want to, he was very attached to my father, and my father died very young. So, he says we want to give him what is called kagwas, where you take some kheer and you give it on the terrace to the crow. So, he took me to the terrace, and I was shocked to see the whole terrace was full of crows. Now, this is not a normal phenomenon. It doesn't happen so easily. And he had the power of talking to the birds. I mean, he could talk to the birds. He could understand their language. I'm just sharing this with you that to give you an idea of the energy of sensitivity. It's something very personal, this is, but I'm still sharing it with you. So, all the crows were making a sound. It's not possible. He must have called all those crows over there. There was no way that so many crows could be on the terrace at the same time. And then I had that kheer and I was going to give it to the crows. And he says, wait, that is not the way. And then he said, now you listen to the sound of the crows. So all the crows were going caw, 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 right? And there was one little separate from the others, and it was going grrr. Says, that is the one which will connect. Now you give it to that one. And I fed that crow. I says, that has reached now. Now, this was something which goes beyond all logic and reasoning, which we can say. And it sort of came back to me about 3 years ago, because Ramdulare Bapu left in 1982. And I was sitting on the terrace one morning, in the evening, one evening, and a crow came, a bird came, and I said, is there a way we can merge into the sensitivity of their sounds? And this I could only do when I was sitting alone on the terrace. If other people are there, it is not possible. And so I practiced merging into their sounds. And this is like a tutorial for the energy of sensitivity. Now, many times the birds comes and I sense, and then from that sensing of the sound, as if allowing the sound to vibrate in our prana, vibrate in our being, suddenly pictures started appearing. And this process started after about 6 months. And those pictures were not purely clear pictures. They were more picture plus symbolism. And because I have done a lot of work on dream symbology over the years, suddenly that symbology started talking to me. And I found it was connecting across time and space. And the birds were acting as messengers, and in the sounds they were producing, in the sensitivity of merging with those sounds, certain pictures would appear, and you would know that this person who has passed away 20 years ago or 10 years ago, he is in this situation and he's asking for your help. So next day when I would do my Omkar practice in the morning, I would sense that person, feel that person in my being and say, I'm doing this Omkar for you. Is there any way I can help you? And within a few days I would get the message whenever I would be sitting alone, and a bird would come, and that person is in a much better situation. Right? Now, this is the movement of energy of sensitivity. Right? And then to increase the power of the energy of sensitivity, I created a small waterfall on my terrace. So I could sit silently next to the waterfall and merge with the sound of falling water. And that gave me a very, powerful impetus to this. So when they are talking about beasts of prey, animals, and especially birds, if you work on your energy of sensitivity, right? And everyone must take out 5 minutes every day to work on the energy of sensitivity. In our daily life, in the tensions of life, in in all the excitement of life, what we lose is our deep sensitivity. Another thing is that as long as there is aggressiveness within us, as long as there is agra within us, right, we cannot work upon sensitivity. We like yesterday we were talking about softness, and the byproduct of consciousness is softness. That consciousness has come into somebody's life. The resultant, the byproduct is that more and more softness comes in that person's life. When you touch that person, when you hear his words, when you feel that person, you can see the absence of aggressiveness. Mr. Tavaria says, I don't control anger, but there is no anger left to control. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? So, when you're free of aggressiveness, and aggressiveness is a, what do you call, characteristic of the ego, right? And the ego cannot be sensitive, it cannot move into sensitivity, it can only move into sensitiveness, right? So, as your life, more and more softness comes in your life, deeper and deeper sensitivities of life start playing in you, they start dancing within you. And those sensitivities are which bring joy in life, the real inner happiness in life, the real inner joy in life. So, if you work on those sensitivities, I'm not saying that we are going to learn the language of the birds like Ramdulare Bapu knew, but we will start sensing many things. We'll start sensing many things. And you can be a picture of water where you can give water to the thirsty, right? Where you sense somebody is in thirst and you can give water out of a picture to that person. So, sensitivity and softness go together, right? An aggressive person cannot be sensitive. An egoistic person cannot be sensitive, right? And you must practice every day, take out 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and work on your energy of sensitivity. It is that energy which is going to give you the sensitivity of the divine one day. One day. And you must, deeper and deeper aspects of sensitivity will start opening up in life, right? So he says, beasts of prey, right? Dhritarashtra could feel the omens, he could sense the omens, right? And but he ignored the omens. He ignored the omens, right?
Sir, can you?
Yeah, please.
This loss of sensitivity that we are talking about, is it the same loss of our instinctive nature as we grew up and at the age of 5 we began to being cloned by society and we lost that instinctive nature? Is it the same thing? Can we compare this to?
See, animals have a deep sensitivity, but again it is pre-programmed. It's pre-programmed. They cannot have a sensitivity of self. Only man can have a sensitivity of self. Sensitivity that I am. Sensitivity that there is a presence sitting over here. You understand? And it is that which has to be developed. It has to be developed. So, it is not the loss of the instinctive center. First of all, there must be understanding. There must be knowledge of the energy of sensitivity. And then there is a practice, right? And the best place to practice is to go into nature. To go into nature. And you sit in nature and you expand your energy of sensitivity, right? So, whenever you go on a holiday or something, You can sit and expand the energy of sensitivity.
Just a little while ago, you talked about the energy of the essence of consciousness. The highest energy comes from the impression of foods.
Food.
So if I look at life today, both are in a rush. The way we give decisions, the way we talk, the way we walk, because of the cell phones, the technology, and everything else around that, we're super fast over there. So sensitivity and softness automatically is compromised in our daily lives. But also the same applies to foods, right? We're always on the go, picking up something fast and eating. Can you talk a little bit about the impression of foods? When you say the highest form of energy comes from the impression of foods, what do you really mean there, and what can we do to change that practice a little bit over there?
No, not impression of food.
Okay.
The food of impressions, I said.
Food of impression.
Food of impressions.
Explain. Do you really just mean that the way we look at everything, the way we see everything?
No, there must be. Now we're going to increase 5 more minutes. 5 minutes for sensitivity.
It's good.
Yeah. And 5 minutes to practice digestion of impression. So, whenever we have react, life has come in as an impression, and in our reaction, instead of digesting it like we digest food, ordinary food, physical food, we vomit that impression out. It is like taking in a piece of chapati, putting it in the mouth, and instead of swallowing it down, you're spitting it out. So each moment, life is coming in as an impression. Right? And can I hold that impression? Can I swallow that impression? Right? So this takes a lot of training, lot of hard work. Right? Now the first thing would be that at the moment of receiving the impression, can I pause the reaction? So the impression comes in and there is an automatic decoding. Can I pause that automatic decoding? Can I bring my consciousness in between the reception of an impression and the decoding of the impression? This is a very high state of consciousness, right? So this is our aim. Let's put it that this is our aim. Now, how do we daily 5 minutes, how do we work towards that aim? How do we work towards that aim? So what do we do when we take food in our mouth? What is the first thing we do? What is the first thing we do? Chew it. Chew it. So the idea is not to, digest all impressions. The idea is first to learn to digest one impression. To digest one impression. So we take in any impression and we start chewing upon it. We start chewing upon it. Like we chew food and food becomes a kind of liquid, semi-liquid kind, which is easy to swallow. Right? Similarly, there is this psychic swallowing of the impression. Right? Now she insults me. it comes in as an impression. Immediately there's a reaction. Now all reactions start with like and dislike. So it means bringing our consciousness to a state where it is standing in between the impression and like and dislike. Can you get it? Which is very difficult, very, very difficult. Now, we practice with one impression. This practicing with one impression is what the Shastras call as Chintan. Chintan karo. Our Brahmavedanji had this thing by Chinta na karo, Chintan karo. Right? He had a saying that Chinta na karo, Chintan karo. So, Chintan is to take in one impression and keep chewing upon it. To keep chewing upon it. Right? So, you may take in one line from Tauriyaji's book. You may take in one line from the Gita. You may take in one line from the Bible and start chewing upon it. And suddenly, just as you chew food and different, rasa, different tastes are coming out of the food, right? From that impression which you have taken in, different meanings will start coming out. Different interests will start coming out. Different colors will start coming out. Can you understand? It is just one line from somewhere, right? Different understanding will start growing in. So suddenly now that one impression is going on a process of digestion, right? And it leads to a higher form of understanding. A higher form of understanding. Right? So the thing is not to... The thing is to first practice digesting one impression. Digesting one impression. Now, can we bring in creativity to this? Can we bring in creativity to this? Person is making a dish of food and you eat the food and you say little bit of chili, little bit of sourness, and it will change the the enjoyment of the food. Can you get what I'm trying to say? So someone may say, instead of putting chili and instead of putting limbu pani as lemon water as sourness, let's put in sumac. Sumac has chili also. Sumac has So before eating the food, take the food as a physical impression, not as a psychic impression. The physical food, you're bringing in creativity to improve upon the food. See, God created raw food. Man improves upon food by bringing his consciousness and creating something beautiful out of that raw food. Right? And it is when that raw food is created into a cooked food, it is man's intelligence, man's love, man's creativity which has gone into that. Of course, there are naturopaths who eat raw food, yeah, but it's a dead way of living, right? Can you get what I'm trying to say? So, what God has given to me as an impression, before taking the impression, can I improve upon the impression? Many years ago, I was very young, and I must have been 11 or 12 years old. And there was a magazine called Filmfare. I don't know if it still comes out. And at that time, the famous actress was Sadhana. And all of you may have heard of her or not heard of, but the young guys may not have heard of her. The old people of Gordon, of course, he was always, what do you call it, infatuated by sadhana. So, and she was really very beautiful, very, very beautiful. And there was an interview of, it says that this interviewer is asking her a question that you're so beautiful, what is the need to use makeup? What is the need to use makeup? So she gave such a beautiful answer. I remember it till this day, that, see, God has created us in a certain way, but can we improve upon what God has created? And that is the creativity of man. Right? So he says, makeup is not bad. God has made my face in a certain way. Now can I make it better than what God has given? So I use a little bit of makeup here, a little bit of makeup here. And this is our own inner creativity. We duplicate God because God created this, and we duplicate God by creating something for ourselves. So the first thing is by chewing the impression. The second thing is that before I take in the impression, can I bring creativity to the impression? Bring creativity to the impression. Now, see, in physical food to bring creativity is very easy. I'm not saying it's very easy. It is an art. It is an art. My mistake, right? It is not very easy, but it is an art, right? In physical food. I mean, you have these chefs who can create, fabulous dishes. Right? But when you're taking the psychic impression, how do you improve upon the impression? How do you improve upon the impression? And how will we do that? Come on. And we cannot bring in creativity without conscious effort. Creativity is not going to come mechanically. Right? So, how do you improve upon the impression? How do you improve upon the impression? That dish we cooked, and we put a little bit of sourness, little bit of chili, and little bit of that. What does that dish give us? A new meaning. Now, that old dish which was void of any masala, it felt a little dry, and this new dish is giving us new meaning. New meaning, the word artha, the new meaning. Can you get it? Now, can we create new meaning from the impression? She has insulted me. It has come in as an impression. Of course, if I react, then there's no possibility of creativity. That's the end of the matter. But I pause over there. Now, how do I create new meaning? How do I create new meaning? How do I create new meaning? Now what? Let's take a little bit of Gurdjieff science over here. We'll keep Mr. Tavaria on the side because, right? And we'll use a little bit of... What does Gurdjieff say when an impression comes in? Who goes to meet that impression? Who goes to meet that impression? An association. An association. So the impression comes in, it meets an association. Of course, in Mr. Tavaria's science, we have, it meets an identical memory pattern, but we won't go into that. And what does that association do? It takes it to an eye in one of the centers. This is Gurdjieff's science. And that I decodes the impression, says it is an insult, you give it back to her, and I react. Yeah, all this is happening in fractions of seconds. Can you get it? Also, right? So I want to now change the meaning. What do I do? What is the first thing I have to do? I have to become aware at some point in this whole journey. Become aware at some point in this whole journey. Either I become aware at the time of receiving the impression, or I become aware at the time that the association takes charge of the impression, or I become aware at the point where the I decodes the impression, or then I become aware at the time of reacting and I pause the reaction, or I don't pause the reaction and the reaction leads to a train of thought. I give her one or two words and suddenly the awareness comes in and I pause from there. Instead of cooking the whole dish, I cook half the dish. It remains raw. Right? So there are so many places where I can bring in consciousness. Can you see? So, but if we can bring in consciousness where at the level of the association, we'll take it in another way. Where does the association come from? Which, right? So Gurdjieff says the eyes are living in the centers. And which part of the center? Of course, it's deep science, we won't go into that. But I'll give you an example of Vivekanand. So, the rain falling, Vivekanand says, is an impression. The rain falling is an impression. The rain falling on the fields, the impression is bringing fertility. The rain falling on my lunch plate, it is bringing cleansing. Can you understand? Right? It is cleaning my terrace. It is the rain falling on the terrace. Right? The rain falling on me, it is bringing joy. Right? And the rain falling in the gutter is going into the gutter. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? The impression is the rain. Falling on the fields, one meaning comes out. Falling on the dirty plate, another meaning comes out. Falling on the terrace, another meaning comes out. I'm enjoying it, another meaning comes out. And falling in the gutter is the lowest meaning comes out. So, where does how does the rain associate? Does it associate with the gutter? Am I coming across in this? Am I coming? Right? Or does the rain associate with that dry field which is waiting for the rain to, what do you call, bring fertility to the field? Can you understand? It is the same impression. It is the same impression. So where is that association taking the impression? Gutter? Right? Now I get angry on her and I give it back to her. The association has taken it to the gutter. It has taken it to the gutter. Right? Can I take it elsewhere? Can I take it elsewhere? Can I take it elsewhere? Can I change the pathway? The pathway is the association, right? And the association is mechanical. It's been going on for thousands of years. The same pathway in the brain. This impression goes on the same mechanical pathway. So can I change the pathway and take it to a different eye? Now, let us take what Gurdjieff calls as being as a building, as a structure. And Mr. Tavaria calls being a structure of acceptance. So we take it as a structure. Right? Now, the impression has come in. Which part of the structure do I take it to? If I take it to the lowest part of the structure, then I've reacted. It has gone in the gutter. The rainwater fell, but it couldn't do any, what do you call, good deed out of it. I mean, it just fell in the gutter and was washed away. Can you get it? I reacted. Can I take the impression somewhere else? Can I take it somewhat? Taking it somewhere else will give it new meaning. Will give it new meaning. See, I mean, we are living life only for one thing, meaning. If there's no meaning in life, then why should he live? Can you understand? A person commits suicide. Why does he commit suicide? He finds no meaning left in life. Am I coming across this, right? So, now, supposing we say I have an aim, and that aim is to be free of the ego, and the characteristic of the ego is reaction. Characteristic of the ego is reaction. So then I don't react and I take that impression somewhere else. I was going to react, but now I keep the chapati in my mouth and I start chewing upon it. I start chewing upon it. And I say, who is hurt? Only the ego is hurt. Right? And the ego is unseen. I cannot see it. However hard I try to observe it, I cannot observe it. Her insulting me has given a, what do you call, opportunity, because now the ego has, from the unconscious, it has come out and shown itself in the form of reaction. In the form of reaction. Suddenly it is in my observation. And so instead of giving it back to her, I thank her that you have created a situation where I can observe my ego. Now, thankfulness will come from a higher part of the building, right? Gutter comes from a lower part of the building. Thankfulness will come from a higher part of the building. Suddenly you're in your own structure, in your own building, in your own being, you're at a higher level. You're at a higher level. And from there, you'll take out different meanings. Different meanings. Can you see what I'm trying to say? Or I'll say, I wanted to observe my ego. Or I may ask myself a question. That this has come in. Why am I still feeling hurt? Why am I still feeling hurt? Am I so dependent upon somebody else that somebody else says something and it hurts me? How can somebody else saying something hurt me? So now, one meaning I took out of observing the ego. The other meaning, I'm asking myself the question that are you so weak? Are you so dependent on other people? That means my happiness is always dependent upon something outside. This is not happiness, it is slavery. Can you understand? I'm a slave to other people. So I want to be free of slavery. Suddenly the whole picture becomes clear. So that one impression which came in, I paused the reaction. I didn't allow it to go to a lower part of my being by pausing the reaction. And I brought different shades of meaning through different understandings. And those different shades of meaning gave a new impetus to my journey. I extracted the energy of essence of consciousness from that impression. Can you understand? It created a bridge towards my higher consciousness. Right? It created a bridge towards higher consciousness. Of course, impressions are coming in at a very fast speed. right? But we must initially learn to practice with one impression. So we practice by chewing the impression, right? Extracting different rusts, different shades of taste from the impression. And we practice by improving upon the impression. Improving upon the impression. And many times when you practice this and you're in that moment, and if the impression is digested properly, it comes to that point of digestion, that impression. Suddenly there'll be a feeling of aha. Can you get it? Aha. This? I mean, you go for a music program and you're listening to music. And there are moments where there's that digestion of the impression in its totality. And in those moments that sitar fellow is playing and he brings this up and you say, ah, you can't help yourself. The impression is digested. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? Gurdjieff says all impressions are neutral. It doesn't matter whether it is coming from a sitar, right? Or it is coming from a bird of prey. He says all impressions are neutral. Thank you. You want tea? Tibra देखिए तो बना लिया आपसे. Tibra. એને આપી દે ને પૂર્વી ટીબરાને આપી દે. Can you get it? So when you go for a music program, you digest the impression, you say, aha, right? Can you imagine in that moment, everything has stopped. The mind has stopped. Everything has stopped. It's total emptiness, and in that emptiness is just this fountain of joy. Only there is no observer inside. Only there is no observer inside. But when you work on impressions, slowly as you grow in consciousness, where then in the day so many impressions, even ordinary impressions will come in, right? Because all impressions are neutral, and it'll bring a feeling of aha, aha. And impressions of suffering may come in, of sorrow. So there may not be a feeling of it, but there'll be a deep feeling of compassion inside, right? Now, compassion also does not come easily. Pity comes easily. Pity comes easily. But compassion has to be triggered by something outside. And compassion is a very high state. You're very high in your, in the building of your being, when you're on a high floor, when you're sensing and feeling compassion. And suddenly you have risen to that floor. Just because, and outside it could be of great suffering. But that inner feeling of compassion takes you into a different world. So, this is the digestion of impressions. And Mr. Tavaria has given us a basis that when we do 3-step rhythmic breathing, we create a kind of platform for digestion of impressions. Right? Go ahead, yeah.
No, I just said very, very beautifully said. I think the last thing you said was all impressions are neutral. It's basically how you decode and digest them is
Yeah.
in our hands, right?
Yeah.
So I think both the practices of sensitivity and digesting impressions every day are probably two very critical parts that will help.
What is the behind reaction? What is the energy over there? She's lost somewhere in some dream. I know it's difficult. It's difficult. It's difficult. Remember me as you pass by. As you are now, so once was I. As I am now, so shall you be. So prepare yourself to follow me. Yeah, Lloyd. Yeah.
Yeah, suppose somebody insults you.
Gun?
If somebody insults you
Yeah.
and you digest the impression, you
Right.
pause, then what would the reaction be? I mean, would it be silence or you reply in a, how would you reply to that?
What have you got out of digesting the impression?
Okay.
Understanding?
Mm-hmm.
Intelligence? Right? So you'll find a way of playing that situation in life without reacting.
So you would not say anything, or you would
Huh?
you would be silent, or you
Depends on the situation. See, here I don't agree with Mr. Tavaria. This is one place where I don't agree with him. Because he says કે મેં તમને ગુસ્સો કરવાની ના પાડી હતી. ગુસ્સાની એક્ટિંગ કરવાની ના નથી પાડી. Can you understand? I told you not to react, not to get angry. But I didn't tell you not to act angry.
okay.
That is Mr. Tavaria's statement.
So you can still show anger.
Yeah,
then.
but the student's statement is that there is never any need to even act angry. There is never any need to act angry. Can you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Because there is the dawning of intelligence, there's the awakening of intelligence. An awakening of intelligence gives you a way from in to play the game of life without even acting angry. Without even acting angry. Can you? So, when we say the Gayatri Mantra, you're saying, please awaken my intelligence. And it is in this situation that we need that intelligence. That intelligence.
Okay.
So you'll find another way out. You'll find another way out.
Okay.
Right? You're married, no?
Yeah.
So much of practice.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
So much of practice. Your
So
wife calls.
normally we find silence is the most effective.
Your wife calls you an idiot, a fool. You'll say, yeah, I also feel I'm a complete idiot and fool. And then you found another way out. Right? You found another way out. Right? So, one of the ways of finding a way out is to top it up. You top up the intelligence. You add something to the insult. Can you get it? So in that it gives you space to work on yourself. So saying ke, she insults me and you insulted me. Yeah, I deserve it. You know, top it up. Top it up. What you're saying is absolutely true. I deserve it. Top it up. Add window dressing to it. Right? And suddenly that calms the situation. Then you'll find a way out. Find a way out. But you need to work upon aggression. You have to work upon. She's telling you that. Take another meaning. Yeah, please. Give him the mic, please. I don't know your name.
Jayendra.
Jayend.
Sir, if we acting that we not heard, then in Gujarati I don't what the exact meaning of dambha. It's possible to the result convert into dambha.
You're acting to bring in consciousness. You're acting to avoid negativity. જ્યારે આપણે એક્ટિંગ કરીએ જાગૃતિ માટે અને એક્ટિંગ કરીએ કે નેગેટિવ નથી થવું, રિએક્ટ નથી થવું, તો એ દમ કેવી રીતે હોય છે? દમ ન હોય છે. એક્ટિંગ છે, દમ નથી. રાઈટ? યુ આસ્ક મી અ ક્વેશ્ચન, મારી પાસે આન્સર ન હોય અને હું જેમ તેમ બતાવું કે હું આન્સર છે, તો એ શું છે? દંભ છે. Yeah. Okay. Where are we?
We were on beasts of prey.
Huh?
We were on beasts of prey.
Beasts of prey. From beasts of prey, we went on a long journey.
Oh Sanjay, I had no hope of victory when I heard that Drona displayed the paths of many weapons in the course of the battle, but failed to kill a single one of the chief Pandavas.
Now, Dronacharya, even though Bhishma was the commander of the Kaurava army, it was Dronacharya who made the formation every day. And these formations are very important. Somehow, I've never got into studying these formations. But there are different formations, the Garud formation, can you get it? And all different formations, the Kumbha formation and all that. So, all these are very deep, these formations. And the most famous one is the Chakra View formation, what we call. So, every day he would arrange the army in a certain formation. And he was a master of this. He was a master of this. Right. On this side was Drishtadyumna, who had to arrange the formations. And he was not of the same, level as Dronacharya. But of course, here they had Krishna, advising them. So things were totally different. And one of the things you have to sense throughout the Mahabharat, right from the Swayamvar of Draupadi, where Arjun and Krishna come face to face for the first time. That there is this subtle presence of Krishna even in every episode where he is not there also. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? You feel the subtle working of Krishna throughout the Mahabharat. Right? And this is very important because it awakens within us that inner sensitivity of something higher. Right? That there is always something higher, a higher force. Right? So they had Krishna, but in spite of that, Dronacharya was a master of all the formations, but they were not able to kill a single Pandav. The beauty of the thing. Yeah.
O Sanjay, I had no hope of victory when I heard that the great warriors, the Sanshaptaks, who had been placed so as to kill Arjun, were all killed by him.
I think I didn't write an article, but I had done some work on the Sanshaptaks. I can't remember now. It's many years have passed. Many years have passed. Huh? Nay, but they were brothers. They were all brothers. They were called the Sanshaptak.
And they have their own army.
There was something in that they fought according to the law of octaves.
Yes.
They fought according to the law of octaves. So, खांड नहीं खींचना. So, but I don't remember now, but they had taken an oath to kill Arjun. And what do you call, he meets them on the path of his going to kill Jayadratha. And we'll take them a little later, because if I can remember something, we'll take them a little later. Right? We'll take the next one. Bye.
Sanshaptak are the warriors, which are the fighters who never come back without winning.
Yeah, they've taken a vow to kill Arjun.
They've
taken a vow to kill Arjun. But the word Saptak,
that signifies the octave, the law of octaves.
The law of octaves. So some deeper meaning. Huh? I can't hear. Nay, this is not that sun. Sun. It's sun Shaptak. So it's not that. It would mean something else. Sun, I'm not sure, but it could be what do you call, transformation of the word sad to sit. Right? I don't know because I'm not very well versed in this.
So in the meaning sections, it says warriors who had taken an oath never to withdraw from the field of battle.
Right. But let us go into Jayadratha, then we'll know, because they are obstructing Arjun from killing Jayadratha. They are obstructing. So let us try to move a little further, then come back. Come back.
Oh Sanjay, I had no hope of victory when I heard that Subhadra's brave son had single handedly penetrated our secret battle formation, impenetrable to others, and guarded by the well armed son of Bharadwaj himself.
Yeah. So which was this the famous formation? The Chakra view. Subhadra's son Abhimanyu. He penetrates into the Chakra view and Bhim is just behind him, and Bhim had told him that I won't leave you. And immediately, Jayadrath closes the Chakra view and Bhim is left outside and he goes inside the Chakra view. Now, all this is significant in the sense that
Sir, did Jayadratha close the Chakra view because Arjun had gone chasing after Jayadratha to kill him because he had vowed it till the end of the day he has to do it?
the Sanshakta warriors had they knew Arjun's weak point. And his weak point was his bow, Gandiva. So they started insulting his bow. Right? Now, so he got caught in that. He went behind them to kill them. And of course, he killed them all. Right? But that was the plan. That they sacrifice themselves and Arjun goes away, and this side Dronacharya will make Yudhishthir into a bandi, a prisoner.
We'll draw Yudhishthir into the Chakra view and see that he's made bandi.
They'll
draw Yudhishthir into the Chakra view and make him a bandi. That's what the plan was, I think.
Right. The plan was to capture Yudhishthir. Dronacharya did not want to kill his disciples, that is, the 5 Pandavas. So he brought up this plan of capturing Yudhishthir, and he said the war will end if we capture Yudhishthir. The Sanshaptaks pulled away Arjun. Charioteer was Krishna, so of course Krishna also was there. And that was the plan. And Duryodhana called them in the night. And he said that this is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. Right? And they didn't, expect Abhimanyu to break the Chakravyu. They didn't expect him to penetrate the Chakravyu. So all their attention, instead of falling on Yudhishthir, fell on Abhimanyu, and he went like a tidal wave through the Chakravyu. He went like a tidal wave through the Chakravyu. Now here you must understand that Abhimanyu, Abhiman, right? Pride, vanity, and what we talked about just 2 days ago. He knew how to penetrate the Chakravyu. He didn't know how to come out of the Chakravyu. Right? He knew how to penetrate the Chakravyu. He didn't know how to come out. And that science he had learned in his mother's womb. He had learned in Yoga Nidra. That science. Yeah.
So what about the boon that Jayadratha had of not being defeated on Monday?
Yeah, so this is that day. This is that day. One day in the war will be on the name of Jayadratha. And
Where
this
he'll
is,
be undefeatable.
yeah, where he closed the Chakravyu. Closed
Okay.
the Chakravyu. Right? So one day in the war will be named after Jayadratha, where he closed the Chakravyu. Only Abhimanyu penetrated. Nobody else could. If Bhima had gone in with him, nobody would have been able to stop him. Right?
So he was fighting Bhim and kept Bhim away from Abhimanyu.
He closed the Chakravyu, did not allow Bhim to come in. You see, Chakra, one circle within circle within circle. You get it? And that famous song, Windmills of Your Mind. You've heard that famous song, Glenn Campbell. Like a circle within a circle, like a wheel within a wheel. These are the windmills of our mind. Beautiful song, beautiful song. The windmills of our mind. You must have heard it. Because he's taken it from the Bible again. He has taken it from the Bible. And so that is the Chakravyu. But when the Bible is saying, they're talking about our psychic Chakravyu, the real Chakravyu. They are not talking about it in story form. Right? Even though the Bible is also in story form. So you find so many parallels. Ne? So many parallels you find. In the end, truth is truth. Right? It can have multiple colors, but it can express itself in multiple ways. But the truth cannot be changed.
So normally, I always look to finding the common denominators between all religions, and there is plenty of it.
Can you switch off this?
Sir, you said Abhimanyu is pride and Bhim is love. So there could be a symbolism here, right? When we are in the whirlwind and our pride and ego is at its center, love cannot reach us. Awareness has moved away. Arjun has moved away.
Bhim is the transformation of sex energy.
Okay.
And when sex energy transforms, it transforms into softness. Softness. So, what do you call love follows softness. Love follows softness. Right? But here we are looking at something very different. Very, very different over here. That this person had learned this art in the dream state, in his mother's womb. Now, you see the deep connections, you see the foresight. And the law of inexactitude. The law of inexactitude. And this only a conscious person would know. In the sense that Ramdulare Bapu takes me on the terrace, but that has meaning now in my life. 40 years have passed. Can you understand what I'm trying to tell you? So, to be able to have that, what do you call, foresight of events. Foresight of events, and where the law of inexactitude would come in. You understand what I'm trying to say? So, Krishna realized that his sister was sleeping and Abhimanyu learned the art in the womb. But there he brought in the law of inexactitude. He didn't give the other part. And actually, Subhadra had gone to sleep. So Krishna was getting up from there and he was giving the whole art of breaking the Chakravyu. Breaking the Chakravyu. And somebody from the wound shouted, "Then what?" And he realized it was Abhimanyu. And he stopped over there. He didn't. He should have given the other this thing, but he purposely stopped over there. Why did he purposely stop? Why did he purpose? And there are many what you call connotations over here. We'll go to as many as we can in this thing, because Abhimanyu is a very fascinating character. Very, very fascinating character.
You had touched upon his birth some time ago, I think, the last time.
Right.
Why he had to live only till the age of 16.
16.
Because he's the son of Chandra. Right?
Chandra.
Yeah.
Right. But why did he stop over here? What was the seed sown over here which gave the fruit in the future? See, all this is, when you read these, this thing, there's always future pacing. Something is sown over here, something is what you call reaped in the future.
Right, right.
So what is reaped in the future? Come on, it's very easy. I've already talked about it. When you see movies, when you read literature, you are able to see this future pacing. Future pacing. It is a very, what do you call, in literature it is used, you know, in different ways, right? Say you take Dickens, A Tale of Two Cities. Okay, A Tale of Two Cities.
Yes.
So then he starts, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times.
Yes.
It was the age of wisdom, it was the winter of darkness, right?
Yes.
Suddenly he's telling you, I'm taking you into a, what do you call, tunnel of conflicts.
Yes.
Tunnel of conflicts. Can you get? So he's giving you an, what do you call, what is to come. What is to come. Right? And Shakespeare has used it a lot. Shakespeare has used it a lot. And many movie directors, they use it also a lot. So here we see that he stopped at that point. He did not give Abhimanyu the other part of the deal. He didn't give he left it. He knew Abhimanyu was going to die in that Chakravyuh before Abhimanyu was born. And why did he want Abhimanyu to die in the Chakravyuh? Why did he want Abhimanyu to die in the Chakravyuh? One thing you said, Chandra. That Chandra had made a deal that my son should come back to me after 16 years. That is one thing which you said. But why did he want her? I can't hear. You see, before the battle, what do you call, Bhishma had made all the rules of the battle.
Right.
So when any Maharathi is fighting, only another Maharathi can fight in front of him.
Right.
It has to be person to
Person.
person.
1-to-1, yes.
Yeah, 1-to-1. Two Maharathis can't fight with one Maharathi. Right? So that was the first rule. The second rule he had made, if somebody is not on the chariot, he cannot be killed.
Yes.
If he's not on his chariot, he cannot be killed. And Krishna knew that Karna can only be killed when he is not on the chariot. Now, he did not want to break the rules. Can you understand? So he allowed, what do you call, Arjun's son to die. And he knew that at that time when he was speaking in the womb. Can you see how these people arrange the incidents?
And all the rules were broken to kill
All the
Abhimanyu.
rules were broken. Now he says, now
Abhimanyu.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Now when Karna is not on the chariot, we'll kill him. Because you broke the rules. We didn't break the rules.
Correct. It was orchestrated.
Can you?
Yes.
I mean, this is politics.
Right.
Can you see? It's
Right.
the mastery in the art of politics. Mastery in the art of politics. Right. So to be able to have this foresight, to be able to have this foresight and to allow this to happen. Right?
So he also knew that Arjun would be taken away. Bhim would not be allowed to follow him. All these moves that happen, very strategic moves.
Let's go a little into this. See, you cannot see everything.
Right.
We are not a Nostradamus.
Right.
Right? But there is a deep sensitivity of what is to come. And something tells you at that point that this investment has to be made over here. See, Krishna already knew the events of his life. Narad had already told him when he was 11 years old. Right? So, he died when he was 120. Right? And they lived 36 years after the war. So, during the war, he was what, 84? 84 years old. Right? So, at 11 years, he had already known that what are the events of his life. 73 years. Right? So, the events were clear to him. But for those events to happen, he could not tell this. It is a kind of, like Ram Dulare Bapu says, कि सब कुछ नियोजित है, फिर भी उसका आयोजन करना पड़ता है. And that आयोजन कहाँ करना, वो विवेक. That is the inner discriminating capacity.
Right.
Can you get it?
Right.
So he allowed him to die. He allowed him to die. And where do you see this another place in the Mahabharat? Where do you see this again? He sacrifices somebody else. Right. Because that Shakti given by Indra, nothing could go against that Shakti. So Arjun was going to die and he had already decided, Karna, that I'll use that Shakti upon Arjun. So he created events. He would not allow Arjun to come face to face with Karna.
Right.
He'd always take the chariot somewhere else. Always take the chariot somewhere else. Till Karna had used his Shakti on Ghatotkach. Now the time, I can take the chariot in front of Karna. Can you get? So, when you read into these small, how the human mind, the intelligence of the human mind, he's asking how to work where somebody has insulted you. Can you see the awakening of intelligence to find ways out of situations? And this drama of life, it is this inner intelligence which gives you the joy of finding, ways out of situations without hurting anyone.
Maneuvering. Yeah.
Without hurting anyone.
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shall
Thank
we
you.
read it again? I've forgotten.
O Sanjay, I had no hope of victory when I heard that Subhadra's brave son had single-handedly penetrated our secret battle formation, impenetrable to others and guarded by the well-armed son of Bharadwaj himself.
Guarded by the well-armed son of Bharadwaj, Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama. Drona himself, yes, Drona himself. Drona himself. He was guarded by Drona himself. Drona himself, right. He was called Bharadwaj. Bharadwaj, yeah. So, yeah, go ahead. Take one more.
O Sanjay, I had no hope of victory when I heard that all our great warriors, unable to defeat Arjun, combined to surround and kill the boy Abhimanyu, and then rejoiced.
Right. And he knew that this was breaking the rules. Dhritarashtra was also very intelligent. And then these people had an open permit. They would keep fighting till, because one of the rules was not to fight after sunset. And that rule was broken, and Ghatotkach and his whole army of demons, right, Rakshasas, they had a free field in front of them after sunset. So there the rule was broken. In the killing of Karna, the rule was broken. In the killing of Dronacharya, the rule was broken. And what do you call, in the end, the killing of Duryodhan, the rule was broken. Right? But we didn't do it. You did it. Can you get it? Right? And to have that foresight, Right?
You did it first, sir.
You did it first. Right? What is it? Yeah, it is still linked to Abhimanyu. I just wanted to bring in something which we talked about 2 days ago. We talked about finding solutions. Now you see the name given, Abhimanyu. And he penetrates into the Chakravyu. And he reaches right into the middle of the Chakravyu. And then he doesn't know how to go out. And we said that all solutions are lying in the higher mind. Right? But his name is Abhiman. Right? He didn't sit in meditation and wait for the solution of how to come out. It would have come. But vanity, self-love, they prevent the solution from coming. His name is telling us, that it is he could have allowed the solution. It doesn't mean that Krishna gives you the solution, right? But something we talked about 2 days ago, as I said, just in relationship to that.
I think that's what I was trying to ask you. Okay, because he is Abhiman, something blocks us when our ego comes to the forefront.
Right.
And that's when, all receptivity stops. We lose our senses, our sense of awareness.
Yeah, because the ego does not have the energy of sensitivity.
It doesn't.
Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have the energy of sensitivity.
Thank you. You just answered my earlier question. You just answered my earlier query. I was a little blocked over there.
I cannot love. But if the I is not there, love is there. But of course, in the drama of life, I love you till the stars shine in the sky and as the grains of sand are on the beach, and etc. Huh? In the drama of life, it goes on. Take the next one.
Oh Sanjay, I had no hope of victory when I heard that the mindless warriors of Dhritarashtra cheered with delight at killing Abhimanyu, and the furious Arjun took his vow about the king of Sindhu.
So now he's saying his own mindless warriors, right? And in that was Dronacharya, Karna, Ashwathama, who else? Kripacharya, that is his guru. And they took delight in the killing of Abhimanyu. This young boy. And then Arjun took a vow to kill the king of Sindhu. That is Jayadratha. Jayadratha. Right? Okay, shall we continue in the evening? We'll continue in the evening. The victory of the body-brain system, Jayadratha, over the inner soul. The victory of the Jayadratha, the victorious chariot. Jayadratha means the victorious chariot. So the victory of the body-brain system over the inner soul. So let's see what the homework is this evening, this afternoon. What does it represent? What does it represent? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.